Hey there, college sports fans. I'm Jean Cantero, and welcome to this edition of the Cavalier Sports Report. Joining me today is the head coach for the JCCC volleyball team, Jennifer Rye. Hey, Coach. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, with the first home game last night, how do you think the team is doing so far this season? I mean, I hear they're off to a pretty great start.
Yeah, I believe we're 5-1 after last night. We have a lot of things where we're working out, but this group is actually doing a really good job of constantly adjusting to one another and to their opponents. So I'm pretty satisfied so far.
Oh, very great. And, well, last year was a very great season, finished third in the national tournament. How do you think the team is doing, to prepare to beat that this year?
This group is a very determined group, and they're very ambitious about setting team goals and visions, and one of theirs is to win the national championship.
Okay, very nice. Well, best of luck with that. Hope you get it.
Thank you.
And now, most of your team this year is freshmen, very few sophomores. How do you think the team is doing, to bond with each other since they all come from different locations, different areas, and are at different levels of their college career?
You know what? We have been fortunate enough, a couple years back, the NJCAA allowed that if everyone was enrolled in the summer class and a physical on file, that we were able to work with them 8 hours a week.
Oh, cool.
So this summer they came in and we had the opportunity to have different sand leagues, and so they played in the sand, which is kind of nice for the summer, so we're not indoors all the time. And then they would come in and do individuals and stuff with us. So I think that allowed them to create a little bit more of a chemistry rather than just starting in August.
Oh, that's great. So they were already very well adjusted to each other by the time the season started. And now just this weekend, you're going to go to Iowa for the Kirkwood Community College Tournament. How are the matchups looking for that?
It's going to be a tough tournament. And very competitive teams, solid. Let's see, Parkland finished second last year. They're ranked first now. Kirkwood hasn't lost yet. Central Nebraska, we lost opening weekend. Looking forward to seeing them again. ICC, they're ranked fifth. So it's a very competitive tournament. And we're looking forward to seeing where we're at and what we need to change.
No problem. And now, so when the preseason polls came out, JCCC was ranked third. What were your thoughts when you saw that right away?
I don't actually put a lot of thought into preseason polls or during the year. My thought process and where I go with it is more like, okay, we need to constantly improve and get better, and if we're constantly striving, to sharpen our team's performance, and that's what I'm looking for.
No problem. Now, since you started off as a coach a few years ago, the team has been very successful, and since this is a two-year school, it's due to transfers, freshmen, new student. How have you been able to get such great talent to come to this school?
Oh, goodness. Kansas City has great volleyball, so I can't really take a ton of credit for that. But we really look for, the girls that play for, winning high school and club programs. Also those that are hardworking and really want to get better, that have that competitive spirit. That really helps, and a very intelligent student too, because that really helps balance the academics and being on the court and playing.
No problem. So how do you actually manage that, making sure the students focus on school and not just on volleyball?
Time management.
Yeah.
I'm going to say we aren't always taught that early on, but they are definitely learning time management. We also have study halls and stuff like that. And also, like, our teachers have been great with communication, so that really helps out a lot.
That's great. And now, students come here, move on. Have you kept in touch with any former alumni, see what they're doing?
Yes, absolutely. Preseason, we went to Mid-America University for scrimmage. We have two of our girls, Shannon McCarty and Sarah Slater, playing for Baker. Emily Hester's playing for Mid-America. And then this past weekend, the Division II players all got started with their scrimmage. So Lori, the All-American from last year, the outside, is playing at SBU, and they were scrimmaging against Rockhurst, Precy, the All-American. So Bethany is also at Fort Hayes, and Hannah's at Ottawa. So I do keep in touch with a lot of them, and they're still playing and enjoying, playing and furthering their careers.
Well, that's great to hear. Now I want to take you back to the 70s where this program first started, and ever since then, this school has had very good success with volleyball overall. What do you think is that secret of the main success that teams are always winning?
Well, I wasn't quite born yet, but I would say, under Susan, under Jill, there was really great coaching and tradition, and I think that winning tradition and culture has really, year after year, been something that they strive for, if not to get better than that. So I think it's really the tradition, the winning tradition, and, recruiting kids that really want to be here.
Right.
I think that's what it is. I mean, Johnson County is a fabulous school, not just with sports, but academics. And I think that they're very impressed when they come on their visit.
Right,
and so they want to come here and they want to play.
Well, that's great to hear. Glad to hear that many students want to come to JCCC. It's a great school. And Coach, thank you very much for joining me today. And that's all for this edition of the Cavalier Sports Report. Make sure to go check out the volleyball team. I'm Jean Cantero, and we'll see you next time, Cavs.